Peter Humphrey says it was a show trial for the cameras and that he and his wife, Yu Ying-zhang, were collateral damage. They'd become embroiled in a bigger drama, a corruption investigation at GSK. The British pharmaceuticals giant had bribed Chinese doctors to buy its medicines. But the boss who was convicted did not go to prison. Now back home in Surrey, I asked Peter Humphrey why he and his wife did.
I think it's very simple. The answer is we didn't have $500 million to pay the authorities. That story was about money from the beginning. Money got them into trouble, and money got him out.
Initially, the British consulate were more communicative than the Americans.
Right. A year ago, Peter's teenage son Harvey showed me desperate prison letters from his parents. Corporate investigators convicted of selling the personal data of Chinese citizens to their multinational clients. A miscarriage of justice, he says, which some could have helped overturn.
There were probably one or two clients with enough influence to have done something who kept quiet.
Why would they keep quiet?
I guess they would be afraid of ruffling feathers or making a noise that might put their own business in jeopardy.
I'm not going to name any, but do you think the clients in question, do you think any of them had a responsibility to help?
Yes, I do. It might be different in a different environment, but in the Chinese environment, people are very nervous about sticking their neck out on somebody else's behalf.
That's disappointing.
I guess it's life in China.
This story goes back to a series of anonymous allegations against GSK. With decades of China experience, Peter Humphrey was hired to investigate the source of these and a secretly filmed sex video of GSK's top boss in China. Even now, he's reluctant to discuss any of this.
I'm not prepared to identify by name any of the individuals who I was angry with at this time. It's not impossible that we may sue some of these parties or through other means try to seek redress.
He has a warning for those who see China as the next big business opportunity.
There are some wider lessons that come out from our case in China for the business community. One of them is for governments, including the British government, who need to understand that when they encourage their companies to go and do business in China, these companies face serious risks. And I think they need to understand that absolutely any company and any individual going to China could be the next party to suffer our fate if they fail to understand this and manage this risk.
So how did he get through the ordeal of a crowded and squalid jail cell, separated from his wife and without desperately needed medical treatment?
My wife and I were able to exchange letters through a very laborious procedure from time to time. And these letters showed me the strength of our love for each other. So I think what sustained me above all else was this knowledge of how strong our love was for each other. This kept us both nourished in the following months.
But once the investigator, always the investigator. From a world away in rural England, Peter Humphrey is determined to work out exactly what triggered his 2-year nightmare in Shanghai. Carrie Gracie, BBC News.